Could it be a buzz? My goodness. It might be. Los Angeles Police Department helicopter. Either a hologram or a real one, we don't know. But we know that he turns off after he's done a flyover. Okay, we have a thought-based buzz. Now, just for reference, there's... Okay, let's see. No, you can't see him. Or maybe there he is. Anyway, we're going to get a buzz. So this is a thought-based buzz. And so this is for, because I uploaded reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube. And ever since 2013, I am buzzed day and night. See, it's night. By Los Angeles Police Department vehicles or holograms thereof doing flyovers. And believe it or not, what you're looking at could actually be a hologram. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You cannot tell the difference. They have holograms day or night that you cannot tell the difference. And I've been able to determine this by the fact that they can't get the timing to where it could possibly be possible to actually get a real helicopter based right on the moment when I come home. This is Richard Bruce recording gang stalking for uploading reptilian shapeshifter movies to social media. Okay, it's 2:37 a.m. July 27th, 2025, and we got our helicopter approaching in the middle of the night here. What are the chances that it's going to fly by? See, somehow they can detect when I'm awake. Here he comes. Your taxes for Los Angeles Police Department vehicles in the middle of the night, probably a hologram. They can sense your thoughts. Look at the directionality. See how he turned? He was heading due south, and now he's heading to get a turn for a low, close flyover. Here he comes. Your taxes. What are the chances? In the middle of the night, here he goes, flying low and close, right next to me here. They know what I'm filming. They know exactly what I'm filming. Look at that, friends. Your taxes for mind-reading technology in the middle of the night. They happen to know I was lying there awake and just thinking. This time I wasn't thinking about anything too particular, but there he goes. See, if I hadn't been out here with the thing, he might have been a few circles around or followed a lot closer. But this time I was awake and aware. And like I said, I get 1 out of 5 of these stalks. Psychological warfare for uploading reptilian shapeshifter movies to YouTube. Alright, so I'm watching this show here.
Just accept it, you know, it's just normal and it's just for no reason.
And this guy started circling around. Let's just turn this off for a second here. This is actually and why would he be circling around? Let's get a better view of this here. So this guy, just so you know, I'm here at the Calabasas Library. It's the 26th of July, 2025, and this guy here is circling around. As I started watching this show, talking about this guy, and I don't even know how this guy is still on YouTube, because if I mention anything in a negative context about Jews, I will be that movie will be deleted, and I will have a strike against my channel, during which not only is that movie gone forever, but I have a strike against my channel, 2 more strikes, and I'll be taken off of YouTube. But also, I'll have to sign an apology in order to log back in 2 weeks later, after I've served my non-being able to upload punishment. And I have to admit guilt and take a little quiz. Okay, so that's what YouTube does. You have to take a little quiz in order to log back in. If I were to say half of the shit that this guy here is saying, he's got 43,000 subscribers, and look at how many views this movie has. 174,000 views. I have 92,000 views, and I never and with the exception of a few movies that other people made, get that many views, because I am highly shadow banned. And it's suspicious that that helicopter was circling around. That was definitely a stalk, probably a hologram. Believe it or not, they have holograms. You cannot tell the difference.
Reptilians.
The reptilians.
The reptilians.
The reptilians. The reptilians.
Reptiles.
They're ugly-looking lizard, alligator type people.
I don't know what it was.
Go on.
It changed colors. Like the chameleon. It uses the jungle.
You saying that Blaine and Hawkins were killed by a fucking lizard? It's a bullshit psych job. There's 2 or 3 men out there at the most. Fucking lizard. Yeah. I see it.
God gave us the Torah, the Gentiles were jealous of us. They feel that we think we're elitist, we think we're the chosen people, which by the way we are. We do think we're elitist. We are the chosen people. They think that we think only we are the children of God, and we do think that. And we're not embarrassed to say, only the Jewish people are the children of God. The nations of the world are not the children of God. They're not God's children. They're God's creations. They're created with Tselem Elohim. They're not God's children.
Listen, Rabbi, your book tells you the Gentiles are jealous of you, but that's a fictitious history. Only Indians are jealous of you for some reason. And yeah, we know you believe you're an elite class chosen by God, and there's a lot of Christian dupes that believe it too. But for my part, I don't really care that you believe in that delusional bullshit. I'm not jealous because it's a bunch of nonsense. I care that you simultaneously reject my right to self-determination and identity, and you cry about white supremacy while holding these beliefs. And I care that you and your NGOs organize and come out against us anytime we want to try to form an exclusive community, such as the one that they're trying to form in Arkansas, Return to the Land. You know, the ADL came out and denounced it, and so did a number of Jewish groups and Jewish teachers and rabbis. You know, and you do this while you also demand our tax dollars to support your Jewish supremacy in Israel, your Jewish nationalism in Israel. You demand our tax dollars for it. Who wouldn't resent that? It's completely understandable. There's nothing mysterious going on here. Who would not resent that? And really, George Orwell himself couldn't have imagined projection, doublespeak, and hypocrisy this extreme.
And this creates a certain jealousy, and they don't like that. In other words, there's an ethnical reason. They feel that we are elitist. We think of ourselves as better than them, which we do. And therefore, they hate us.
Wouldn't that be a perfectly good reason for a host nation to hate you people? You assert your elite status while crying about me wanting to have just primacy in my own homeland. We resent you. Also, we're not jealous of you. We think you're a bunch of psychopathic and schizophrenic ethnic narcissists who excuse all of your shitty behavior and neuroses with these batshit religious claims. We resent you not for your Torah or the fact that you believe you're chosen. You're not the only people on earth that's believed they've been chosen by some deity or deities. I don't really care about that. We resent you because you're insufferable hypocrites with forked tongues. You do nothing but gaslight, lie, and project.
What can we do? God selected us, you know? Yeah, good. God selected us. So these are the two reasons for anti-Semitism. One is what Rashi says. Rashi says, Amar Rav Shimon Echai, Halacha hi v'yadua, se'esav soinei liYaakov, that what's the reason for it? There's no reason. It's just, it is. God, the reason for anti-Semitism, according to Rashi, is that it's just a law. It's a law of nature. There's gravity, and there's, the theory of relativity, and then there's anti-Semitism. And then on the other hand, you have this Gemara in Shabbos that the Gentiles hate us for, they feel that we think of ourselves as better.
Wow. You Jews truly have no self-awareness. It's like you can't see yourself or hear yourself because your head's so far up your own ass. It's incredible. And it's amazing that after you give your reasoning or your interpretation of why it is, of why the Goyim hate you, you end on, it's just a law. They don't even know why. It's just like gravity. They just don't even know. So on the one hand, you supply your reasoning. You don't let us speak for it. Trust me, we've got things to say. So you supply your reasoning, but then you back that up with, but there's no reason really. It just happens. happens. Like it's just happening to you for no reason at all. Just like rainfall or just a wind. No causal relationship between anything you and your people have done and the sentiment that people come to have about you. So let's be clear, we know why we don't like you. It's not because you believe these things. Go ahead, believe these things if you want. It's because you assert these things from within your host nations, and your behavior and your corrosive effect on your host nations really reflect that belief that you hold in your supremacy and your chosenness. It's obvious because of how you treat your host nations and how you view the people that live there. We can see it in your behavior because you can't hold that belief without thinking that we are inferior and without not having respect for us. I mean, you can't really respect people that you believe you were born better than. I mean, you can't really respect a people when you believe you're chosen by God and they're not even God's children. So I guess all I have to say about that is you should just go believe that bullshit somewhere else. Like, you know, in your homeland, and you'll see how much we give a shit then. Go there and do it. Go believe that shit, you know, back in Israel. Make aliyah. Get the fuck out of the West and see how much we care about that. We don't give a fuck. We just hate that you're here doing it. While you fight against any effort that we have towards nationalism or pride in our folk, identity, self-determination, you never support these things for us. And then you have the nerve to pretend that there's just no reason at all for people to resent you. None whatsoever. And so this clip contains the very lack of self-awareness that demonstrates why I resent you. It's not because of, yeah, Hashem gave the Torah to us and you're just jealous, Goyim. No, that's not why. Anybody, if you could just stand back and just look at this clip and just hear yourself speak, it would be really obvious. Wow, look at this guy. It's not even about the words you're saying or the substance of it. It's about the fact that you really can't see or hear yourself. Like you're contradicting yourself like crazy here. You're speaking with a forked tongue. You say all these things that, you know, if anybody said them to you, right? Well, you know, we're white, we're chosen, whatever. You would just fly off the handle, but the other way around, you're just like, well, it's just a law. You should just accept it. You know, it's just normal and it's just for no reason at all. And then you have the nerve to wonder why people would resent you. But then instead of asking them, you just come up with your own bullshit reasons. It's just so exhausting dealing with you people.
Alright, so I was watching this guy, Shameless Spurg, and I got buzzed, as you can see there. And now, this guy is kind of like an extremist, but at the same time, it's understandable. And let me make clear, as I said, in that if I may have included that in the helicopter bust of that one helicopter that circled around twice when I was watching this guy's movies. And it's almost like they got really pissed off about it. Let me just say this. I'll say it again. I cannot say anything like what he said, at least from what my experience was, without them immediately deleting my movie, okay? And I mean, I made one little hint about, like, nothing even close to what this guy. I mean, this guy's like full-blown F those people, okay? But I made one comment about what a difference of opinion in history. Like I saw something that didn't seem to that seemed to show me that that history isn't what we thought, and they deleted that movie, and it really bothered me. And then other times too, they deleted half the movies that I uploaded when I did the research into other events concerning certain nations that I'm not going to mention, that this guy Shameless Spur talks about. But yeah, it's and so it, you know, and one of his main complaints is the censorship. Okay, that's one of the main things. Like, look, every group's got their problems. You got their people that you don't like or whatever. You have some beefs or hang-ups with them. But I mean, at least they don't have organizations like the ADL suppressing your speech.
Ich streite mich nicht mit anderen jüdischen Gruppen. Das mache ich einfach nicht. Ich streite nicht mit ihnen. Ich debattiere nicht mit ihnen. Ich widerspreche ihnen nicht. Ich verteidige mich nicht, wenn sie mich kritisieren. Ich werde nicht. Hallo Leute, ich bin Shameless Spur. Ich hoffe, es geht euch heute gut. Heute möchte ich darüber sprechen.
Now, let's take a look at what Jonathan Greenblatt has to say about free speech in this country. You know, he values our rights and freedoms so much, so let's see what he has to say about it.
The ADL, our Center for Technology and Society, works actively with all the kind of companies of Silicon Valley, from Apple to Zoom, if you will, from Amazon to Microsoft to Meta, and indeed to Twitter. We've dealt with them for years, helping them tackle the challenges of hate speech on their service. We point things out, we share information.
There is no such thing as hate speech in this country, asshole. Okay, this isn't cucked Europe. We have free speech in this country. Do you want to know why we have it? Do you want to know why you would even codify something like free speech? Because it needs to be said. Because why? Because sometimes it offends people. Sometimes it sounds hateful. Who decides when it sounds hateful? Who's ever got the most sway? Who's ever got the most power? We have free speech, dude. That means the freedom to say what people don't want to hear. That definitely includes even lowbrow, stupid bigotry. That includes that, okay? Everything between worshiping you and telling you how awesome you are to telling you that you're a filthy kite, it's allowed. It's permitted. It's free speech. We don't have hate speech. There is no hate speech exclusion or clause, okay? There's no exception given. And so, but thanks for admitting that you're involved, actively involved in working with technocrats and plutocrats in order to completely thwart and subvert our free speech. Well, they're private platforms, you say. Even though all of the public communication and discourse has moved online, and it's time for us to kind of re-update our understanding of what is the public square, it's really disingenuous that where almost all of the conversation is taking place, then you decide to flex, hate speech standards, community guidelines. So like once we've succeeded in morphing all of society into something that's internet driven, we'll just use that as an excuse to say, well, you don't really have those rights. I mean, you can go do it in a padded cell if you want. You can go stand on a street corner while everybody's either walking around staring at their phones or they're hanging out inside on their computers. You can do that. Nobody's gonna fucking hear you.
So I think that that's really what made this guy, this anti-Semitism, label that gets put on you for even the slightest criticism of Israel or the Jews. And I think that they've kind of made their own bed. Now, let me just say this. He's kind of funny. He's kind of funny to watch, and I like him. But at the same time, if I were him, first of all, I don't even know how his YouTube channel can even survive. I mean, I don't somehow like I said, if I even said even a little bit of what this guy said, poof, my channel would be gone. So that I guess I don't know, just different people, they care about what people say. But I just wanted to say that I think that people are kind of making their bed with this. The reason the so-called anti-Semitism or rhetoric against Jewish people or the Jews or Israel is that it all is so high. Is this very thing that he shows these clips of the ADL, this ADL head guy, Rosenblatt or whatever, Green whatever, and he's saying this guy is what they do is they work with all these companies, all these social media companies, to prevent them from publishing free speech, basically, that is critical. If it's critical of other people, they don't care, but if it's critical of them. Okay, or something that they can point out as obvious racism, which, by the way, there's another channel with this chick, this girl, okay, she's good looking, it's a good looking blonde girl, and once again, if I even said a tiny fraction of what she said, poof, my channel, they would delete my channel, and that would be it for me on YouTube. Poof, gone. But at the very least, they would delete the movie, give me a strike, and then I would have to do an apology sign-in to sign back into my account 2 weeks later to see if I can, lip it. Yes, I promise not to. Yes, I understand what racism is and all that stuff. And she can post, like, every movie she posts is about black people. I kid you not. It's about black people, it's about immigration, and specifically talking about groups. Like I said, I couldn't say us, if I were. Now, I just want to say though about this guy, Shameless Spurg. I should make a whole video on the problem of what religion does to people and why you get this, because it is actually unbelievable, and it, there should be a whole study on how badly it screws with people who are not honorable. Because if you are honorable, whether you're religious or not, you're going to be honorable. So if you're honorable, even if you have religion, you'll be honorable. You're not going to be this, total puke bag. But when you add religion to it, you get an even bigger puke bag than you ever could possibly hope for. And this applies, and that puke baggery applies just as much as, I complain about Christians, okay? Like I said, I can't complain about Jews. There's no, I can't, if I do, like I said, I'll lose my ability to even reach anybody. And YouTube is my biggest platform. And I'm already not even, on top of being suppressed, I'm also not very popular. I don't get very much support. I don't get people sending me money like all these other people do. They get lots of stuff. My channel's been demonetized and highly shadow banned. But on top of that, I'm not actually very popular where people give me a lot of support. Like this guy. This guy's got half the subscribers I do, and he's getting 20,000 views, 50,000 views. This one movie, it was a really good one, Why I Don't Like Jews, Part 2, 275,000 views. Okay, and like I said, I don't even know how this guy has a channel on YouTube. I don't get it. How does he manage it? But in any case, that's what you've got. You've got that, and but like what I like to say is this. I've been saying this for a while. Is that every group has its despicable aspect. What we are experiencing right now. If you understand what God is saying in His Word, and you add it all together, what's happening now is that we're experiencing the very bad behavior that somehow we all need to experience. Okay, so every group, whether it's the Christian whites, whether it's the, black, white, or brown, don't make me frown, all the races are experiencing being bad actors in some respect. And it'll be done eventually. And the scripture says concerning the Jews in particular, they're called, in scripture, they're called the naughty figs, okay? So they're being naughty, okay? But you got plenty of naughty Christians too, right? Look at all those Christian scandals, right? Look at the Catholic Church and the pedophilia, okay? But the main point where I would agree is stifling Americans' free speech. That's where I think you've got a problem that is worth addressing. I think that the actions of the ADL to pressure social media companies to stop people from criticizing Israel, Zionism, or the Jews in general, or anything else, anybody doing that, that's a problem where it is actually anti-American. It's un-American, and if I think if there's an uprising, that's going to be part of it. And I think when you say that people can't even criticize, can't even share their opinion on a social media platform, which if you don't like what somebody has to say, it's very easy to click away, okay? But social media is now the public forum where the First Amendment does apply, even if these private companies do not practice that, but they should. I believe what they are doing now, like YouTube is doing now, is actually unconstitutional and illegal, and one day it will come to a reckoning.
I'm coming for you.